Nearly every week, Pet Simulator 99 launches a new event, and every event creates a new opportunity to make billions of gems. So for the latest event, I tested 3 completely different strategies. Making gems during an event comes down to 3 major things: timing, experience, and a little bit of luck. Each method demanded a completely different amount of time and offered a different level of profit while also providing a chance at some of the rarest pets in the game. Every event showcases multiple ways for players of any level to make a large amount of gems. The biggest appeal of these events is that they do not always require the most expensive enchants. Before we start comparing these methods, it's important to understand just how events work and why everyone's playing them. Nearly every event comes down to 3 major things: clan wars, leaderboards, and numerous chances at Titanics and Gargantuans. For this method, you want to start the event as soon as you can. However, instead of playing the event fully, you'll be spending most of your time here in the trade world. This method involves jumping server to server, finding people selling the new event items, and then reselling them for more. Anything that affects luck is normally your best option. People are playing these events to hatch rare pets and often highly overpay for these luck boosting items or stat pets. On this account, I was able to go booth to booth buying different pets and items from people selling them far under market price and then putting them in my own booth and selling them for fast profits. This account is only rank 6 with no exclusive enchants, and it doesn't even have any huge Titanic or Gargantuan pets. While this method can be rewarding, there are a couple downsides. The market can be very tricky to learn, and if you are too slow selling things back before the event ends, you can get stuck with items that have little to no value. Another downside is that you need a decent amount of gems to start off with in order to buy these items to resell them. Lastly, by far, the worst downside is that you don't have any chance at getting a Titanic or Gargantuan for yourself, as you are not actively playing the events. With all of this in mind, I was able to use a starting balance of about 100 million and turn it into 1.3 billion gems. I was able to do this by finding people selling 1 to 2 items at a time for a far cheaper price, as they were just trying to sell them fast. Then I would sell them at my own booth for a market price, which is normally far higher than what I bought them for. This method could often feel repetitive, as you are just racing other players to find cheap offers and then waiting potentially 30 plus minutes to sell the items you bought for maybe a 2x profit at best. For a total time of about 3 hours, I would say this method is the most time friendly. Let's move on to method number 2. This next method takes a good bit of time, but I would say it's a lot less effort. For this method, you want to start the event right as it begins. You want to start playing the event like normal and make sure your goal is to stay in the event area and maximize your event progress as fast as you can. This method involves playing the event for a few hours a day and grinding to reach the top 1000 leaderboard or at least the top 10,000 leaderboard. The top 1000 people in each event are awarded a Titanic, while the top 10,000 are awarded a huge. On top of this, you can sell all the event items you earned each day in the trade world, netting you huge profits. One of the major upsides this method has compared to the first is that playing these events often include a way to get a Titanic or even a Gargantuan for yourself with far better odds than the traditional methods. Basically, all you have to do for this method is play the game and try slightly harder on aiming for the leaderboard and maxing out your luck for the event. With only a few hours a day, you can almost guarantee yourself at least a huge while having multiple chances at pets worth anywhere from 5 billion to over 100 billion gems. The account I used for this experiment was rank 16, didn't have any game passes or exclusive enchants, and was able to hatch 4 huges during this event, 1 being a rainbow one and 1 coming from top 10,000. However, during this event I wasn't able to get lucky enough to get a Titanic or Gargantuan from this account, but just knowing I had the chance to is worth it. The total amount made from this account was just under 2 billion gems with a little over 20 hours of AFK time. Most of the profit came from the huges and then also selling the event items in the first few days. This final method guarantees you at least 2 Titanics while also having chances at more. The first Titanic comes from the top 1000 leaderboard. To achieve this, you have to basically AFK 24/7 in the event zone. If you are to AFK 24/7 in the event zone and use the event items, then you would even have a good chance at top 500, which would be a gold Titanic, or top 250, which would be a rainbow Titanic. The second Titanic comes from clan wars. If you are a top 1000 leaderboard player, then it is very easy to join a top clan also. All you need to be is in a top 50 clan to get a Titanic. You would have to have joined this clan before the event starts and play throughout the entire event while in this clan. Since this method requires you to play the event 24/7, it's not a good option for most people who cannot have their computer on overnight or disconnect often. For example, the account I used was top 500 on the leaderboard, but a simple 30-minute disconnect led me dropping all the way down to top 900. I was still able to get the top 1000 Titanic and a Titanic from the top 50 clan wars. So depending on what clan you join, you may even get a Gargantuan from clan wars if you're rank number 1. Finally, since you are spending the entire week in the event zone, you maximize your odds at hatching a Titanic or Gargantuan for yourself. This account was able to hatch over 10 huges by itself from this event alone, but sadly no Titanic or Gargantuan. With that being said, the final total from this account, who spent 144 hours non-stop in the game, was just under 13 billion gems. Now that I've listed all 3 methods I tested over the last week's event, looking only at the final gem totals, method 1 was by far the best method. However, this account also takes the highest commitment and dedication, and depending on the event, it might even take some gems of your own to keep up with. How you play the event should come down to how much time you are able to spend and how much effort you are willing to give. While it's true that if you cannot compete for the leaderboards, you might fall behind in these events, it's still completely possible to get billions of gems or even get lucky enough to hatch some of the best pets in the game. While you might not have gotten lucky this event, there's always next week's event to look forward to. I appreciate all of you for watching this video. If you made it this far, then comment your username and how well you did in this event, as I will be giving away 5 Rainbow Huges from this event. Let me know what topic you guys want me to cover next, and I'll see you in the next video.